about you, Cypha?
Man, I've been doing all right, man. Been doing all right. Just hanging in there, one day at a time.
How is it out there?
One day at a time.
How's it out there? Because I know you said you in red country. When
red state.
When the results came back in, because like I was sitting here, right? A joint came up on my phone, and then all of a sudden I hear man honking, right? So I'm like, oh, that's just New York shit. But then I hear people banging on pots and like, yeah. So I go out on the terrace and I'm looking, and literally people out their windows like people across the street, they got little drums and they like
that's funny.
Like straight up, like it was dope. Like it was pretty dope. Like so.
Yeah, for right now out here, man, it's pretty quiet at the moment, but it's still early.
Figure this much.
You know what I'm saying? So, but and I ain't tripping on it. You know what I'm saying? My guns is loaded. I got it. You know what I'm saying?
So if we want to get loud, we can get loud. I get it.
Yeah. But other than that, man, I mean, ain't too much really going on at the moment. You know what I mean? The news is still circulating that Biden, President-elect Biden, won the election. Kamala Harris, first Black Asian American woman to be vice president. So, yeah, that's pretty dope. We're not a political podcast, but we'll talk a little bit about it. I guess we can talk about it a little bit. How's everybody's feelings on how the election went? I know all week it's like, man. The rest of the world has been looking like, man, what's taking so long over there?
Facts.
No doubt, yeah. It's definitely been a long time. I didn't think we'd have a result this quick, to tell you the truth.
Me either.
I thought it was going to go on for like another week or two.
December. I thought it was going to go to December, honestly. Like, especially when old boys started suing everybody, you know what I mean?
Right. They said they were going to act like that never happened.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm cool with it though. You know, I didn't expect it, to tell you the truth, you know.
I kind of didn't need it, to be honest with you, man. You know, I thought I mean, in all honesty, I thought it would be a landslide for Trump.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
You know, I kind of thought it would be, but I mean, that's not what happened.
You know, the one thing that like, and my mom's had called me this morning, and my mom's called me, and she was like, "You got the news?" I was like, "Yeah, I got the news." Da da da. And I told her, I was like, yo, Ma, honestly, I had no faith in American people. And I said, I didn't think that the American people would vote to basically put not just a woman, but a black woman, a heartbeat away from being the president. You know what I'm saying? Like, God forbid anything happens to Joe Biden during his election. Like, you know what I'm saying? During his presidency, I should say.
But you got to keep that into consideration. I mean, he is 80 years old.
He's the oldest president.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like, God forbid anything should happen to him, she becomes president. You know what I'm saying? And, like, to me, like, I was like, I think that is going to keep people from voting for it. But it didn't happen. So, we don't have to worry about that right now. I mean, we got other things to worry about. It's not like, it's not like, like, okay, like January, like it's not like old boys just going to jump up and be like, all right, y'all beat me, I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
I think everybody's pretty much aware of the narcissism. So
factory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to figure that out.
But
it's pretty interesting times. This year has been just interesting for everybody. With the pandemic and the election year. It's been an election year, and it's just been a lot of stuff that's just been circulating around. That's just been tough for everybody this year. So we definitely want to send out prayers. Condolences to anybody who's lost any family, friends, or loved ones during this year, during this tough time, and pretty much American history right now. During this tough time, nobody's. I mean, this is in our lifetime living through a pandemic that's still currently going on right now. Still be cognizant of that. Definitely be aware of your surroundings. Keep your safety paramount for you and your family during these times. We don't know what may happen. There's a lot of different scenarios that are going on right now, so just be safe, be careful, and just keep doing what you do, and keep spreading that positivity the best you can. It doesn't matter if you lean to the left, lean to the right, doesn't matter what you represent. What it matters and what it really starts at, and where it really starts at, is in your own home, and making those changes in your own home, in your local communities and areas of that nature. So that's where it really starts. That's where you should really be focused on more than anything. And just keep doing your thing out there, creatives. Shout out to our creatives, for real.
I feel that.
Tune into us and check us out each and every week.
That's real.
Jay, what's up with you, man?
And, you know, the usual, trying to find the bigger, better things to try to keep it super mobile. What about that extension level event 2?
Oh, the ELE 2? Yo, I listened to that joint. You know, you put it out twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he added like 5-6 songs to the second one that he put out.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, I didn't.
One of them had like an Eminem feature on it.
Yeah,
I saw that.
the last
I
one.
didn't hear those yet. I heard the first one. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like for me, for you to hold my attention for an hour and a half, like in this
Take a
day,
Buster album.
Wow. Yeah. Jay just brought up the Extinction Level Event 2 album and what we think about it.
Yeah. Well, so I think the second half is better than the first half. The new stuff he added.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that stuff's better than the first album. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you could tell.
The production's
you could tell
A1
on this album because I think he said in an interview somewhere that he'd been working on this album for like 8-9 years. Like he's had some of these joints in the tuck and then added some new ones along the way.
well, the beat selection
like
was
that.
key, man. Yeah, their beats are great.
Yeah. The second half of the album is kind of, you could tell, not that, I don't want to use the word dated on some of the songs, but you can kind of tell whatever, wherever he was recording or wherever, you know, you can kind of tell the quality is a little different from then to now, as far as the quality of the recordings and the mixing and the mastering, compared to the second half of the album.
But even beyond that, like just the whole body of work to me, yo, like I know this is gonna sound crazy. This joint sounded like somebody's first album. You know how like when somebody's first album dropped, and it's like they got all of this stuff that they just been holding on to, and like they finally get their opportunity to put it out. Like I got that first album feeling from this, and it makes sense if you say that he's been having these songs for like almost 10 years. That's wild.
Yeah,
now I gotta go back and listen again. Like I got you.
And I looked at some of the liner notes too, and I seen that he's got I can't remember off the top of my head, but he's got like 2 or 3 different credits on producing some of those beats too. So
good,
I was like, oh, okay, Busta in the lab cooking up some of the beats too. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, but his flow, man, he was in shape on this album. I loved his album. You know, I was the same as you, Cheese. Like, man, you held my attention pretty much through this whole album, like from start to finish. You know, it was like anytime Busta's done like a project just based off of his body of work, like you were saying, like it's almost like a cinematic experience. And he definitely shows that in his music videos too. I've seen a couple of the videos to this album. I haven't seen them all.
Oh, they
I know
got
he's put out
videos
a
to
few
it?
different videos, but like it's like a cinematic experience. Like the intro with Rakim and Pete Rock.
Yeah,
Like,
that intro was dope.
And Chris Rock coming. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, he has some features on there.
Yeah, he definitely has some features on there. What was some of y'all's favorite joints? I know it's kind of probably hard to
I like
know
that
the names
joint
of
from
the
Rhapsody.
songs, but
The one of Rhapsody, and then the Mariah Carey joint right after it. I was stuck on those two for a couple days. You know what I'm saying?
Rhapsody joint was nice,
totally different flavors. Yeah, because the Rhapsody had that East Coast, you know, like the leaders LONS type vibe, right? And then that Mariah was like, okay, like how we used to do with Mariah back in the 90s. I mean, it was kind of like old and new. You know what I'm saying? The music, the drums are up to date, but you know what I'm saying? It still had that vibe from like 90s R&B. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he basically made.
what was the name of the original joint?
Baby, if you give it to me, he basically made that joint.
Exactly. I was getting ready to say that. It was just a remix.
Exactly.
It was a flip of that beat, and I was like, oh, okay. Because in the beginning of that beat, I was thrown off like, where is this going? And then when it kicks, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had a lot of skits on there too. I like how he did the skits, where he put the skits at the end of songs, right? So you don't have to. Like only one that was, I think it was skit by itself was that Michael Jackson joint.
Yeah.
With
Jackson
Kendrick
5.
Lamar.
Look over your shoulder.
Look over your shoulder, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that joint a lot too, though. That's old school flavor.
That
you know what I'm saying?
Crazy. I'm not even gonna lie, like, cause like I would like I think if Cypha, you had said this. You was like that wasn't a beat that you would have chosen for Busta and Kendrick.
And Kendrick Lamar. Yeah.
But yo, they destroyed that.
Oh yeah.
I was most impressed with Kendrick though, because like Busta does that beat all the time. But Kendrick, he had to go like a whole different coast. He had to go like 4,000 miles away.
Nah, but Kendrick spits like
I know he does.
He do that fast spitting too, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's I honestly say like I don't really listen to like full albums like that often no more. But like this and like I remember when you was like, yo, Homework is Busta Rhymes out. I was like, oh, all right, whatever. And I looked at it, it just said it was an hour and 29 minutes. I was like, bruh. I got so used to like the little 37-minute albums now, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But you know what? I like the integrity of him doing that. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it old school. He's like, yo, I come from the school of, you know, no, I'm gonna hit you with something that's over an hour long, you know. And I had this discussion with some of my other friends and fellas that work in the music industry and stuff like that. And you know, I was like, some of them was like, man, the album was too long. But I'm like, but you sit back and listen to a 2-3 hour podcast. What's wrong with sitting and listening to an hour and a half long album?
With the features too, it's not like it's just him on every single one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's smart. So you know, it's 2 other albums that came out free on YouTube. That KRS-One, he is like 2 hours worth of, like, I think it's 40 tracks.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But then Redman got one too. That came out within the last couple weeks.
Check that Red.
Yo, it's like it's a free album right on YouTube.
Yeah, but before we get too far into that, I do want to ask you guys a question. Where would you rank this in Busta's body of work as far as his albums?
This is his best album.
Think this is his best?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like hot tracks all on it, so like LONS stuff, all that stuff was good, but it was sprinkled with like the hits. Like over all these years, you know, he dropped singles for like about 5 or 10 years. He dropped just straight singles, and he probably put like a couple albums out between. But his best stuff was featured for a while. Now he's like, he figured out the magic. He got features on all through the album, and then he put together some great beats, you know. And like you say, he probably polished it up for like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, and I love, by the way, that ODB joint. That's one of my favorite tracks on that album, man. That ODB.
Bring it in the
producer, yo, fuck his name.
Like, oh, he got Brooklyn Zoo in there. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, man.
And
Rest
then
in peace, ODB, man. That gave me that feeling when I heard his voice. I was like, oh, come on, man. You gonna make me cry, man.
Yeah.
Like,
and
then the whole
Q-Tip joint.
You know what I
like
appreciate? What I appreciate about the way he used the ODB vocals, he ain't just like, it wasn't just like this little 8-bar hook. Like he used it and he use a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause some people, if like featuring somebody that's deceased, and it'll be like the person. It's just a loop. You know what I mean? And like, and yeah, granted he did like kind of like, it was the same part repeated, but like, it like at the beginning, I'm like, yo, like, wait, dirty? Like wait, cause see, the way I listen to it, I listen to it in my earbuds, right, with my phone in my pocket. Cause I didn't want to look at the names. I just, because like when I do that, I tend to be like, oh my goodness, how much more time is on this song? You know what I mean? So I was just listening, and I was cooking some food at the same time, and I was like, man, I don't know if I should listen to this Busta Rhymes and cook at the same time, because I like cooking with love. You know?
All aggressive.
Yo, I was thinking some mashed potatoes. Let me tell you, them potatoes got whipped. I was like,
liquefied.
Especially when you start hitting them triple time flows, you be going crazy. You know?
Yo, I say this. Go ahead, Jay.
But for the real, like that beat, like when you hear ODB and it's like, okay, and then all of a sudden you start hearing the 8-bit stuff. The only thing I can think of is, okay, Cheez and Bry. Why didn't y'all tell us y'all was on this? Because I can see one of y'all sampling one part of it, and then somebody else sampling the 8-bit part. I'm like, y'all, I see what y'all did right there. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what it also made me think of too, since you brought that up, Jay, on that joint. You remember the show Press Your Luck?
Yeah.
Yeah, with no whammy, no whammy, no
yeah.
whammy, no whammy. Stop. When that I was like, oh shit, man. Yeah,
that's a RZA, right? RZA, that's RZA.
What's that?
Who produced that joint? I can't remember who produced that joint.
I don't even know.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I ain't even look at a lot of notes. The only thing I saw the features. I saw the name. I ain't seen the names of the songs until just now when you was like, "Yo, what's your favorite joints?" I was like, "Wait, I don't even know the names of none of the songs." But I'm about to look up the producers and stuff.
I think RZA might be on a
There
different
was
joint.
one joint on that album, because I listen the same way you do, Cheese. I don't look at the credits or anything my first listen through, because I don't want to have these preconceived notions or expectations on what to expect. But I knew when that Primo beat came on, I was like, that's definitely DJ Premier. And Busta smoked that joint. He smoked it.
What do you expect? You know what I mean? Like Primo, he got. That's one thing I love.
Signature
about
sound.
Yeah, man. Like, it don't matter what gear he's using, you still hear the same. Like, you know, Primo. There you go. You know what I mean? Hear the production credits for
Jay, where would you rank this album, man?
I'd say it'd be top 3, or for Busta's albums, the top 3. Like I still think the number 1 would be the original ELE. And that's like a close second is When Disaster Strikes, and then this is number 3. Yeah. Because like say when the first ELE came out, it was just a whole, like I said, that whole body of work where I just like every song you just put on repeat pretty much until either the CD scratches or the tape pop. And then this is the same. and then this one, it's like, well, I'm going to play it. Oh, wait, battery's going dead? No, wait, now I'm charging this up forever. This is how I go to bed. This is how I wake up with an alarm. Like when I be driving for Amazon, this is my theme song. I was like, oh, hold on, let me put on where Louis Farrakhan starts speaking when I'm running through these Georgia states trying to pass these packets. That's
man, he just has that energy that gets you hyped, man. He just has that, man.
And that's what I'm saying. You going to sleep to ELE too, bro? How?
yeah, bro. And you know, I messed up, Cheese, when it came out, because you know it came out midnight. And you know, I still was up. It was about 1 in the morning. I was like, "Oh man, let me put this on, bro." I know my girl, because I was like, you know, I know my girl had to be thinking, "What the hell is he doing over here?" Because I was laying in bed with my earbuds in too, and so them joints kept going. Man, I couldn't help but just keep moving. You know, so I'm like, man, what is? I was like, yeah. And then next thing I know, it's 3:45 in the morning.
You up like you just had a cup of coffee. You know?
Yeah, man. But I was like, man, let me take my ass to bed, man. I feel my blood pressure rising, man. I'm too. All right, so who's some of the producers? You got that pulled up for us? You got it?
Yeah, I got it. So the intro is Knots and Busta Rhymes. The Purge.
Knots is on this album a lot.
I'll
Knots
get to
is
that.
Nice. Yeah.
The Purge is Swiss Beats and Avenue Beats. Strap Yourself Down was Jay Dilla and Pete Rock.
Shout
Czar
out to
is
Dilla,
the
rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Czar is the Rock Wilder. Out of My Mind is Dreddy and Busta Rhymes. ELE2, The Wrath of God, that's Knots and Busta Rhymes. Slow Flow, Knots again. Don't Go is Focus. Boom is DJ Scratch. True Indeed is DJ Premier. Master Fard Muhammad is High Tech and Terrence Martin. You is Anderson .Paak, which is pretty dope.
That's fire too. Yeah, that joint's fire.
Oh No is Dreddy. The Don and the Boss is damn. I don't want to mess this up. Shife, Carbine. I probably messed that up. I apologize if I did. Best I Can is Ninth Wonder. Where I Belong is Rick Ross and Navi Beats. Deep Thought is produced by Busta Rhymes. The Young God Speaks doesn't have a producer. Over Your Shoulder, we know that's Knots. I seen him put that on Instagram. I remember when that joint was on Instagram. You Will Never Find Another Me. That's produced by Busta Rhymes. Freedom is produced by Knots. Satanic was produced by the Rock Wild. I don't have the list for the
newer joints.
I know one of the newer joints got Murder on the Beat.
Yeah, I heard
Murder
that too.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, like when you were saying, like, you know, what like where this ranks, for me, I am impressed by the fact that Busta, like, I don't feel like he ever really fell off. You know what I mean? I feel like rappers like that started out like rapping, like Busta was rapping in the early 90s, you know what I'm saying? This is like damn near 30 years of rap, and he's never sound washed. You know what I mean? No. Like a lot of rappers start sounding washed up. and like they start off and you hear them like they can do crazy things with their rhythms and stuff like you know, intricate rhythms and stuff like that. Then as they get older, they start sounding like they lose their touch. You know what I mean? Like they get to the point where they
flow gets dated.
Yeah. I don't even think it's that the flow gets dated. I think what happens is I think they get out of shape. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they lose that breath control. They stop. I feel like a lot of rappers take for granted the fact that they can rap. You know what I mean? And they don't realize that it's like it's almost like athletics. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be able to because you're speaking, you know, to a rhythm. So you gotta be able to breathe to a rhythm too. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Busta, you could hear like he never took that shit for granted, man, because he always had that like never slowed down, man. And that's like
plus he's way bigger than he was 10 years ago.
Yeah, he's way bigger than he was 20 years ago.
Right. He had the same flow though. You dig it?
And that's the crazy thing about it. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, Busta had that phase where he had kind of blew up, like kind of got a little chunky, but even through that was still able to to spit.
They wanted Nicki Minaj at dancehall joint.
Yeah. So, even that Look at Me Now joint with Chris Brown.
That's still like the feature of all time.
On that, man. I think part of what you're saying too, to go along with what you're saying, Cheese, especially if you're blessed enough to be in the industry as long as an artist like Busta Rhymes has, to stay that consistent and not also at the same time to not lose the motivation. Yeah. You know, for being in the industry for so long. I could see how some people could perceive some artists falling off when really they just probably lost the inspiration and just not really inspired, you know, or feeling like, I can't get with this new sound, or I can't evolve with the time. I mean, whatever the case may be, I think that is a factor with some artists too. But with Busta, you could tell he was having fun on his album. You could tell he still loves to rap. You know, I heard him in an interview not too long ago he said, man, I'm 48 and it don't matter. I'm a keep doing this. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm able to keep doing this, because I love it too much.
That's wild.
And you could tell by his passion and his sense stress and the way he attacks joints, and I mean, you could just tell by the way he performs, and also the way he does his shows, and like he brings that energy every time, because you can only be consistent and that successful at it for this long if you have true love for the art form, if you have true love for what you do, man. I give him all the credit in the world for still having the motivation to, you know, still come out with a body of work like this in 2020 after, like you said, 20-some odd years, 30 years in the game. Like, man, hats off to Busta Rhymes for that, man.
In fact, he did. That's and one thing I'll say too is I always hate like the whole like trap versus boom bap like argument, because I feel like it's trash. I feel like it's stupid. But like he was like, yo, here's the lane I'm in. I'm gonna stay in that lane, but I'm not gonna make it sound old. I'm gonna make it sound dope. I'm gonna make it sound fresh. I'm gonna make it sound like crazy. You know what I mean? Cause I seen somebody had post, like a couple people had post, oh, Busta made a whole album and ain't used no trap beats. He's a real MC. I'm like, that don't I feel like if Busta would have put trap beats on there, it would have still been a hard ass album. You know what I mean? Because he
some beats kind of like trap anyway.
They do have some trap joints on there.
Yeah.
But I think it matches him. I think he complimented a lot of those joints well, in my opinion. I think he did, because you could tell he didn't care. He's like, man, I'm gonna have fun with this.
Exactly.
You know, hook up with the young cats, and you know.
And that's what you need, like, cause like all this whole oh, my generation better than your generation. Shut the fuck up, man. I
it's all
hate
music.
That, you know what I mean? Yeah. At the end of the day, it's all music. You clap on 2 and you clap on 4, bro. Like, come on. At the end of the day, you're doing a 2-step, right? Like, so stop it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was really, really happy with that album. You know what I mean? Like it was. I felt like it was real dope. And like I feel like you know, Busta Rhymes is basically between Busta's album, the joint we talked about last time, the Benny album. Like, I feel like it's just trying to. I feel like people should understand, like, there's a lane for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and like, considering the fact that now you can pretty much go independent and you can put music out. Now, granted, you still got to do marketing, promotion, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But like
distribution.
Yeah. But you can distribute your music. Yo,
but you can do it yourself. Yeah.
Yo, if it literally, like, you can go on DistroKid, right? You can do $20 and you could be on DistroKid as your label, or you can pay $80 and you can be your own label.
Right.
$80 a year. You know what I'm saying?
Busta's independent now.
Is he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I think I heard somewhere that he's independent now, even with this release. So
that's pretty good.
Dope.
Some good money.
Really dope. You know what I mean? Like, that's real dope.
Bro, you said Redman's got a new album out.
Yeah, Redman got one. I think it's been like maybe about 2 weeks since it came out. Maybe a little bit longer. But then KRS got one too.
Did you hear him?
I heard some of Redman's. His is long too. Like, they're both over hours. You know, like KRS is 2 and some change hours. And Redman was like at least, I want to say like an hour and a half. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. But I heard some of them. I mean, it's like I definitely couldn't hear the whole KRS. You know, I played that. I went back on it a couple times. He had a couple joints that was just so hard. You know, I just put it on loop. Same with the Buster joint. Redman, I heard a couple. I probably heard like the first third of the Redman record. Some of them were hard beats. You know. He's still flowing now.
I'll be honest.
Red is another one that never fell off to me. Redman, he's always been consistent with his projects too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always been consistent too. I think he's also one of those MCs that he doesn't get spoken about sometimes enough.
He gets slept on. He gets highly slept.
Yeah.
Highly slept.
But Redman has always been dope. Like, I've always fucked with Redman.
That nasal voice and just his like Redman. Like,
so look, let me see. Can you see it?
I've been
a little bit.
2 hours. It's called Smoke With Me, full album, free download, right? 2 hours and 2 minutes.
Oh, so he got a lot of joints on there. Can you see who he's got features on there? Or?
Let's see. I wonder if this is a like a mixtape or something. But the records I heard, I hadn't heard them before. They had a link to a playlist, but I mean, like a link to another site that had the playlist on it, but it's not. I don't see it yet.
Not coming up. Okay.
Dope. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah.
You said, have you heard some of KRS's album too?
Oh yeah, that's hard. Yeah, that's fire. I like KRS, and it's like some of the old rappers, they don't have to like change their style to the new. If you had like original flow styles, like Big Daddy Kane's on that. He's featured on the KRS. You know, KRS got a bunch of old school features on it and new school cats. But Kane's on it, and Kane was ripping too. I was like, damn, Big Daddy Kane. You know, like the people that had their own flow pattern, like Rakim, he could still get on the mic and do Rakim, because nobody could do that better. For real, it's been a copycats, but like the originator of a style, like Buster style, Buster style never had to get new. He's been spitting fast before young people were spitting fast already, right? And then he had like that grimy East Coast too. So it's like he didn't do anything new on his album. He put newer people and newer production around him, and it shined like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I feel like certain artists, even from that generation of the Busters, and you know, even before Busta with Rakim and KRS, like I feel like I want to hear some more of the legends on some of these trap joints. I don't see why not. You know, just to see. I mean, let's see what's going on. Like, one of the first groups that I thought about, like, why are they not taking advantage of this sound right now? Would be like a Bone Thugs.
I knew you was gonna say that. I was thinking about that like a long time ago. Like,
I don't know if they can pull it back together.
Yeah, that's probably
yeah.
Cause they Bone would be crazy.
He'll cash in big time. They kill the game.
Because like, I mean, if you really look at what a lot of people are doing, like with the harmonies and the fast flows, that's Bone.
Bone could go on BeatStars and pick go to the hottest trap beats, pick like a random 6 and put out an EP, and they're going to go platinum.
Oh yeah.
Like they don't even need to have like name brand producers because what they like their styles are gonna sew all the beats together and then all the beats, the newest beats out. I mean, they could probably rock all of them. You know what I'm saying? They got they did slow tempo and fast when they were out their first EP.
Mm-hmm.
Before people were doing slow though, nobody was going to slow before. They did it because it's kind of like creepy, right?
Yeah. But that's funny that you thought about that. You thought about it too, Jay. You know, it's funny that you thought about that too, because I was like, man, how are they not? You know, maybe they are. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Because I was also thinking on the. Because what I was thinking about, like how Busta Rhymes' flow just changed to where he can either go to slow flow, like in the scenario where it's like rah to basically to break your neck or give me some more or be in the feature on Look At Me Now, and it's like when and the part where he was rapping all fast, like other people tried it, but it just wasn't like consistent. Like when you think about it, like JC tried a little bit, didn't work out so much. Then that was at near the tail end of Bone Thugs basically waning into their career. So then other people that might have tried but didn't really do much, like MJG might have tried a little bit, Big Boy from Outkast tried it a little bit, Eminem, he tried it a little bit and maybe like did it for like maybe a half a second. Like Mpcone, he tried it for a little bit on the album. Like a lot of rappers, you know, went and tried. Like the only person that kind of could have done it, but then just like how you're talking about being out of shape, is Twista. Because Twista,
I was about to say Twista. Yeah,
like Twista's like pretty much the fastest rapper alive. But then if you hear like some of his later stuff, like he's talking way more normal like we are, and it's like that's one prime example of you know being able to be in shape of with the flow like that.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like with Twista though, like the Twista, the only thing I think that Twista's downfall was that like him being a fast rapper, it was like a gimmick. You know what I'm saying? So like you expected it on every track, and then like. And then when he didn't do it, you're like, why are you not spitting fast? You know what I mean? But then eventually, like because he was just spitting so fast at times, he was like, all right, let's just get a verse to this, and then let's get, you know what I mean? Because like sometimes it'd be
album is a million words.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like you know, and it's not no knock against him because like I love like a lot of the Twista features. You know what I mean? But I can't sit here and tell you that I ever listened like that I could. Like sit down right now and listen to a whole Twista album, or that I was ever able to like sit down and listen to an entire Twista album from top to bottom. Like usually for me, it was the singles. You know what I mean? Because those are the ones that I gravitated towards. You know, that's just me. But you know, it's like I said, it's no knock against him. But I just don't think like because like that his gimmick was that he was rapping fast as opposed to just being a rapper who was nice that happened to rap fast. You know what I mean? Like I think it just kind of like it made that like that being his thing. It was like after a while, it was like, oh yeah, it's Twista. He's gonna rap fast. You know what I mean? Like you know, so like, but
but that first album, Adrenaline Rush, man, he set the standard so high out the gate for himself. And I don't want to use I'm gonna say it. I mean, I don't want it to be misconstrued, but it's almost like he kind of pigeonholed himself into that. If that makes sense. Yeah, it's kind of like he just kind of put himself into a box, kind of like what you were saying of like this is what everybody's going to always expect from you, you know, and that's kind of a hard expectation sometimes. Like when you come out the gate with such classic albums, like we talked about Nas just recently, you know, setting the standard so high with your first projects, and you know, it's hard to do, man. It's hard to do, but but with Twista. I'm a big fan of Twista too. You know, I'm a big fan of you know, I'm a Midwest guy, so you know, I like you know whoever can spit nice with the quick double triple time flows like Tech Nine and other artists like that you know could do that. I've always been appreciative of that, but sometimes it's like I was just kind of reflecting on. It's just hard to kind of stay in that pocket. It's really hard to stay in that pocket, especially if that's what people expect from you every single time you get on the mic. You know. And sometimes that's a gift and a curse, you know. It's a gift and a curse, you know. But don't change what you do. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
At all. At all. I
Especially
feel like a lot of people be trying to fix stuff that ain't broken, and basically end up breaking something. You know what I mean? Like you know. So.